Happy freaking Zelda Day. You made it to Tears of the Kingdom, and goodness gracious, do we have tons of coverage on the channel. Just about every tip and trick you need, you're gonna find right here, plus a bunch of great things to do first, things you might have missed, things I wish the game would have told me, and quality of life upgrades that you definitely want to check out. So lots of content there, but good morning, Mario. I'll be right-handed today, and good morning, Switch fans, so you can see my shield. But somehow, today's episode is nothing about Zelda. It's all about Nintendo Switch 2, because two of the most interesting developments in the next Nintendo Switch console case came up over the last 24 hours whilst everybody was busy freaking out over Link, Zelda, and the Zonai. So make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the show. As you can tell by my hair, I've been making videos non-stop. It's been a ton of fun. Now I think I'm getting sick, but the show must go on. This is Good Morning Mario, and we're going to have a good time talking about two major things that have developed and that I think are not coincidental whatsoever. We're going to talk about something that leads us to a November launch date and something that really shows that this is in full swing. All right, I want to start off with Sharp. No, not the difference between a fork and a spoon. Sharp, the company. Sharp makes a lot of good technology, and hey, they make a lot of screens. In fact, Nintendo has worked with Sharp multiple times in the past. Most recently, they partnered with Sharp as early as 2020 to start making more Switches. They added Sharp as a Switch manufacturer to keep up with demand. Curious timing, isn't it? 2020, the pandemic, Nintendo was adjusting and making moves, and then they partnered with Sharp. Well, guess what Sharp said yesterday, all right? Sharp is making a new LCD display for a new console. All right, Sharp had a big investor briefing, similar to how Nintendo has their investor briefings, where they share what they're working on. But Sharp actually shared it, Nintendo. They don't do that lately. Basically, Sharp CEO said, "I can't comment on any details regarding specific customers, but as to a new gaming console, we've been involved in its R&D stage." New gaming console. And they listed that they're making these screens for a new console. They had slides in their online presentation saying, hey, we're making a screen for a new gaming console. There are very few options for what a new screen could be for a gaming console, because most of the gaming consoles don't have screens. The PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro or PlayStation 5 with a detachable disc drive, no screen. The Xbox Series XS or Series Oops, we forgot to make good games, no screen. There are literally only two options for what Sharp could be manufacturing right now. You either believe the rumors about Sony's new handheld that is supposed to be like a remote play successor so you can play PS5 games via a portable, which seems very limited in use, but it has been rumored and it seems like it's a verifiable rumor, or they're making a screen for a new Switch. You only got two options. We have a 50% chance that Sharp is making screens for Nintendo Switch 2, and to make matters super interesting, once this started picking up steam, once it started getting reported, once all the headlines came out, Sharp went back and they removed all mentions of new gaming console from their presentation. Now, if that isn't suspicious, I don't know what is. Why on earth do you have your CEO say that we've been involved in R&D on a new console, your slides say we got screens for a new console, and then it's scrubbed? Who likes to scrub things? Not me. It's Nintendo. Nintendo and its ninjas love to make sure that things are as under wraps as possible. And I'm trying to tell you, it is so hard to ignore the mounting evidence that more and more things are lining up. Nintendo won't say what's coming. They have apparently no games. They're going to be at Gamescom for the first time in 4 years. They said E3 didn't fit their plans. Furukawa said in the investor call, this is a newly translated quote, that they would not need as much lead-up time between this new console announcement and release as they did with the Switch. There's too many pieces that are coming together. And now we have another piece. Let me introduce to you Hogwarts. What the heck does this have to do with Nintendo Switch 2? Well, let's take you to a new development, because Hogwarts was just delayed. Hogwarts was delayed once already, you might remember. This was initially supposed to come out day and date with the game earlier this year. And then they pushed the PS4 and the Xbox One versions to April. Those just came out, or maybe it was May, I don't know. They just came out. But the Switch version was pushed even more. it was pushed to the summer. And now the Switch version has been pushed again to a specific day, which is weird. A specific day this far off. If they're having this much trouble in development, I don't know how you guarantee a specific day. But Warner Brothers says that they want to create the best possible experience. That's their top priority. And they have pushed the Hogwarts Legacy launch on Nintendo Switch to 11/14/23. November 14th, 23. Take this with a grain of salt, but what if the next Switch launches on November 14th, 2023? Sharp's getting those screens ready. Nintendo hasn't said a peep about games coming out later this year. And now Hogwarts Legacy, one of the most intensive games that will ever grace Switch, and as far as we know is not a cloud version, is now launching mysteriously on November 14th. Let me bring up some more exhibits of evidence for you. The Wii U launched on November 18th. The PlayStation 5 most recently launched on November 12th. They love to have those dates as their launches. It's like a week or two before Black Friday, and it fits perfectly for a holiday marketing bonanza. Now, I understand the Switch came out in March, so it doesn't line up with November, but that was an extreme oddity. And of course, Nintendo could use a spring window again, and I think that's what most people feel is most likely at this point. But again, I ask you to question yourself. Why then has Nintendo not talked about anything? Because if there's nothing but basic Switch games coming the rest of the year and there's no console, what is the purpose of them hiding their release calendar? Is it to pump up the sales of Zelda? Surely not. That game is number one and would be no matter what else they're putting out there, or even other consoles, what else they're putting out there. Is it to trick investors into thinking that they won't be able to reach their goals? Well, that's entirely stupid and it's not a thing. Nintendo would want to support investors with as much information as possible to build confidence. Also, we have Furukawa saying that, hey, we're going to do everything we can to bolster our forecast this holiday season. And he says we don't include new hardware in our forecast. And now Sharp is making screens. They scrub the mention of new gaming console from their presentation. And we have Hogwarts Legacy launching on November 14th, 2023. Why? It was supposed to come out back the first quarter of the year, then it was supposed to come out for July 25th, and now it's releasing November 14th. Again, it could just be because they want to get a holiday boost and on a console that has the most plentiful install base in the industry. But it also seems strange. Xbox One is out, PS4 is out. Either they're having terrible development time with Switch and this game is going to get canceled, sort of like Midnight Suns, or something is up here. But they're given a specific date. They didn't say it's just delayed till later. They didn't say it's coming soon. That's what Midnight Suns did. They kind of just sort of beat around the bush and avoided it. But Warner Brothers and Portkey Games and Hogwarts Legacy are straight up saying November 14th, 2023. Maybe I'm reading too much in the tea leaves. Maybe I'm too Team 2023 for you. But so much weird stuff is going down. And again, let's go back to the Gamescom point, okay? Nintendo has not been at Gamescom since 2019. Do you remember what they had to announce in 2019? Well, at E3 of 2019, they revealed the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They blew our minds with a trailer that was 4 years early, but it sure was fun. And then they go to Gamescom, they have a huge lineup, and they're building on the momentum that they created in June with that sequel trailer. What do they have to take to Gamescom now? What do they have to buy out a big booth, bring all their stuff over to Cologne? What do they have? You tell me. Are they really going to show up in August, at the end of August, 2.5 months, 3.5 months after the launch of Tears of the Kingdom with just Tears of the Kingdom? Everybody's bought it. This game is going to sell millions of units very quickly, and it probably already has. What are they doing? Why is E3 not work for them timetable-wise? What's happening at Gamescom? Why aren't there any games announced? Why is Sharp making screens for a new gaming console? Why did Hogwarts get pushed to November 14th? Why won't Nintendo tell investors what's going on? And why did they say that new hardware is not factored into their forecast if there's no new hardware planned? Again, take it with a grain of salt, but we're getting so many pieces of a puzzle, and I don't know how it depicts anything else except a new piece of hardware. Maybe the Switch 2 isn't what we think it is. Remember when we thought that the OLED was the Switch Pro and it was something different? Maybe the Switch 2 isn't what we think it is. But it really seems like new hardware is coming within the next 6 to 12 months. I don't know how else you look at this. The Switch is slowing down, they're decreasing their forecast, everything is prepping the waters for a new console, and today's two stories, I think, are even greater evidence. If you want to toss out the Hogwarts one and say that I'm just over-speculating because I want to believe, fine. But the Sharp one, you can't deny that. Is Sharp making a screen for an unannounced Sony remote play console? Or is Sharp making a screen for a company that they partnered with to manufacture the current Switch and learn about how everything works for Nintendo in the current era and with Nintendo Switch, and to get ready for the next console? You tell me. We got a 50-50 shot that Sharp is making the screen for the next console, and they wiped it. They wiped all mention. And it's not because they made a mistake. The CEO straight up said that they've been involved in the R&D of a new console. You can't deny that. You can't unscrub that. That's a quote, and that stays there, and now we know. But what do I know? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Obviously, there's a lot more Zelda content coming, but I wanted to keep you filled in on some other exciting Nintendo stuff as well, and let you know that the other Nintendo content, the GMMs, all of this news recap does not stop just because Zelda is going non-stop. I got you covered. I got the capacity to make a ton of videos, and I love these moments. So thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Hit that like button if you enjoy what I do. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.